In this session, you're going to learn about a few browser plugins that you can use that makes doing SEO a little bit easier. So one of the great features of modern browsers is the ability to add plugins. And a plugin is just a simple little program that will extend the functionality of the browser. And lucky for us, many plugins have been created for the purposes of doing SEO. So the plugins you're going to learn about today will save you a significant amount of time while doing various SEO tasks. Also, some of these plugins will give you information that you would not otherwise be able to see, giving you an advantage over your competition. So the first thing is to get Firefox. That's the browser that we're going to be using today. So if you don't already have Firefox, simply go to mozilla.org and click Firefox and download it to your computer. So once you have Firefox, I'd like to show you how to add some plugins, or in this case, they call them add-ons. So if you go up to Tools and Add-ons, it will pop open the Add-ons Manager here. And you can see all of the extensions that I already have installed. And you can also search and add new add-ons. So I already have a few SEO plugins installed, but I'm going to show you how to install a plugin in case you haven't done that before. The first thing is to search for the plugin you want. And the first one that I'm going to show you today is called Firebug. So I'm going to type in Firebug. As you can see, the first result here is Firebug. And if you see here, you can just click Install. Now it's downloading and installing the plugin. After you do that, you have to restart Firefox. So you click Restart. Now that I've restarted Firefox, I can click Extensions and you'll see here that Firebug has been installed. So let's take a look at Firebug and how it can help you with SEO. So this is tfrog.com, our demo site, and I'm going to take a look at this in Firebug and show you how you can use it to make SEO tasks a little bit easier. And in this case, let's say, for example, you wanted to look at any of these headlines and see if they're in an image or in an H1 tag. So the first thing that you do is up here, turn on Firebug, and it pops open the Firebug console. Then over here, there's this little thing called inspecting. You click that and you can simply hover over anything you want. And as you can see in the console, the code associated with what you're hovering over shows up. So you can come over here and pick a headline, and I can see that this headline is an image. I can keep going, and this is another image. If I scroll here, now I can see that this headline is in an H1 tag, which is great for on-page SEO. And I can look through, and just by hovering over things, get a really, really good idea of if I need to change anything or how it's doing from an SEO perspective. And another great thing to do is to do this to your competitors' sites to see how they're doing. So one of the other great features of Firebug is the ability to edit. So if I wanted to click this and edit it, I can actually come down here, click Edit, and make changes. And as you can see, these changes are live on the site right now. Now, it's worth pointing out they're not live to the public. It's just me editing the page for me right now, this one browser session. But if you ever needed to make some quick tweaks and you wanted to see how it was going to look before you sent it to your web developer, you could use Firebug. So as you can see, Firebug is a great way to view the source, but do it in a way that's more interactive. So if you have a page that has a lot of content on it, but you need to hone in on one specific thing, for example, this H1 tag, it's a lot easier to do that than to view the source and attempt to find it by scrolling or searching. So Firebug can definitely save you a lot of time. So the next thing that I'd like to show you is called SEO Toolbar. And this is by a company called SEO Book. And you can get it by going to seobook.com. You can see here I already have their SEO Toolbar and SEO for Firefox, which we're going to cover in a minute. I already have these installed. So you need to go to seobook.com and you have to create a free account, but they are free plugins. So if we take another look at tfrog.com, you can see here the SEO Book toolbar is installed, and it gives us some pretty interesting information, such as the page rank, It gives us link information, which is powered by Majestic SEO. It's linking to the domains, age, the compete rank, all sorts of wonderful information. And it also has a couple of cool features for testing on-page SEO that are just about off my screen. For example, here's the keyword highlighter. If you click that, you can actually type in a keyword such as T, and it will highlight all the instances of that keyword on the page. So this is a great way to check your keyword density, make sure that you have the keywords you'd like on the page. And another thing is you can use this to do competitive analysis. So if you're looking at a competitor's site, you can take a look very quickly, how many links do they have, so on and so forth. And if you click these, it will pop open a new window and show the results that they were showing in the toolbar. So just by having this toolbar installed, you can get a very quick snapshot of how that site's doing from an authority perspective. And like I said, you can just use this to get a good idea of the various SEO metrics that you're going to want to keep an eye on. Now, let's say, for example, you have a lot of different competitors, which most of us do. All of these metrics would take a lot of time to gather if you were going to look at them all individually. So the next plugin that I want to show you is called SEO for Firefox. And what this does is it takes essentially all the information that you have up here in the SEO book toolbar, but it puts it directly into the Google search results. So as you can see here, I've searched for T-Frog. I'll do green tea. And what the plugin is doing is it's adding this little piece of text down here, which includes all the information in the toolbar, but underneath each of the search results. So you can really quickly do a search for a keyword such as green tea and know what the competition looks like for that keyword. If they've got a lot of links, if they have a high page rank, etc. It's a really, really efficient way to do some real quick competitive analysis. So the next plugin that I'd like to show you is called Web Developer. Now this one I really like. When you're looking at a site, and this is a good example, is Wikipedia, because it has a lot of content. It has tons of headlines and pictures and all sorts of stuff going on. This is all great, but this is not how Google sees this page. Now, Web Developer is built for web developers to do a lot of different tasks, but for SEO, there's one in particular that's really, really useful. If you come over here to CSS, disable styles, all, it will strip out all of the styling and show it to you essentially how Google sees it. So it takes out all of the formatting, all of the styling, and just shows you the text. Now, this is really good because if you were looking at this and you saw anything weird, for example, if your headlines are in images and things like that, it's going to be really easy to spot. Also, looking at a lot of these text links, they're very clean, easy text links, so it's going to be very accessible and Google's not going to have too much trouble crawling this page. So that's a really, really quick way to test some of your on-page and make sure you don't see anything out of place. And I'm going to go ahead and re-enable it, and it's back to normal. So another thing that I'd like to show you that Web Developer can do is it can show you some of the information that browsers pay attention to, but you don't necessarily see, such as the image alt text. So if I come up here to images, I can say display alt attributes, and right here over all of the images, it shows me here what my image alt text looks like. So if I do this and I look around and I find the alt text, I might need to change some, so on and so forth. Again, this is just an easier way to know what your image alt text looks like without having to go and view the source and look at all that code. It shows it right here over the image, so that's very convenient. The next thing that's really useful is the meta information, such as your meta tags, meta keywords. And if you come to information, view meta tag information, it'll pop a new tab, show you what's in the meta keywords tag, and also what's in the meta description. So this is just, again, another shortcut as opposed to looking through the HTML source. You can see it just by looking at the information. This is another good thing to look at not only on your own site, but on all of your competitors' sites. If you're curious what their meta descriptions or what keywords they may or may not be targeting, you can simply open up their site, click information, view meta tag information, and take a look. So those are the SEO plugins that I'd like you to take a look at. And I'll look here in the add-ons manager again, Firebug, SEO for Firefox, the SEO toolbar, and web developer. These 4 plugins are free and they're incredibly useful. As you go through some of the other videos, you may notice that Firebug and web developer specifically are used quite a lot. So you'll definitely want to get Firefox and install these plugins.